So what's going on, guys? It's Captain America. Hope you guys are well, and thank you so much for coming onto this channel. So as always, starting off with the match stats. So for this game, it was a very high scoring game. We did win 6-4. It was a lot of drama, trust me, man. Like at halftime we were losing 4-2, and it was a case where we were like, look, we need to turn it around, and we did turn it around. It was great football that we did play from the second half onwards. You know, in general of the match stats, 55% possession we had. We had 16 shots in total versus 5 from the opposition. I had a 9.4, let's say, match rating, playing as a cam, a central attacking midfielder. I had 1 goal as well as 2 assists, 87% passing and 86% dribbling. And then man of the match goes to Thiago, who had 2 goals as well as 2 assists. Do check out the video, you will enjoy it. It was a lot of action, man. Like, it was back and forward. It was good play from us. We were controlling it, but they had more, let's say, they were more effective and more efficient up front, you know, with 5 shots and to score 4 goals. That's actually quite alright. We could have done a bit better, let's say, but again, we didn't have that many human players, which makes it, you know, a tad bit hard when you rely on the AI that, you know, even if you press the button for them to like press, they just jockey and just running by, the opposition. They're not even making any tackles half the time. So yeah, that's my frustration on the AIs, man. I think everyone's got their own stories on these AIs. I know there's always like a legend of an AI that could always score, but yeah, majority of them in defense are just horrible. But yeah, let me go through with you guys. I'm going to go through with you like how the match went in terms of the goals and the lineup, as well as we're going to be talking about today's agenda, which is around the transfer deadline. Like, now it's gone. There are some deals which are still, let's say, falling through to see if it's going to be progressing through or being finalized, and just some talks around the transfer, like the final, let's say, purchases that have been made. But yeah, guys, so as mentioned, you know, the first goal was a great pass from myself to Teak. It was a shot from him to get the first goal. And then the second goal, again, similar, like, let's say, through ball from myself. But this time we were countering from, like, our half, and I threw ball from the halfway line over to Teak, and Teak with a very good goal. And then, as mentioned, you know, we were 4-2 down at this moment, man. Yes, we did score 2 goals, but they scored 4, and we're like, look, we need to do something in order to get back. And then it was just a pure baptism of Emily Christ, man. We literally, I don't know what the hell we did, but yeah, it was good. Exorcism, yeah, that's it really. But yeah, the third goal was a Teak pass to Thiago for the goal. And then the fourth goal was a Thiago corner to Sergio, and then Sergio with a shot to bring it to 4-4. And then it was a lovely play by Thiago to cut it through to myself, and I let's say, got the goal to make it 5-4. And then the 6th goal, beautiful run from Thiago on the right, and he cuts in for the final goal. So it was a great performance, as mentioned, 6-4. A lot of goals and actions happening through, so do enjoy it. And yeah, it will be good to hear your thoughts on how you think this game went. And just quickly to really run through the lineup. So we had Sergio centre-back, Neymar centre-mid with Sliv, Cam was me, and then Teak and Thiago up front. But yeah, guys, what we'll do then is we'll move swiftly over to today's topic. As mentioned, it's around like the transfer deadline, the done deals, or whatever the case is. And I really want to share with you one story. I forgot to mention it yesterday. It's on Akanji, the purchase that's been made to Man City. So for some reason, there was this video that came up. And what it was he was on this German TV show. Of course, he was playing for Dortmund. And on this German TV show, there was a host. Okay, and the host is on his phone, or he's got a calculator, and what you don't realize is that Akanji is he's very clever as a mathematician. He's really good with like calculations, if it's like multiples or whatever it is, like very quick without using a calculator, so it's all mentally. So it was a case where in the audience there would be like, okay, 23 times 47, for example. And this man would pop up with an answer within like a second. Even before the guys even typed it on his calculator, he's already come up with the answer, man. Like, do check it out. It was like, it's absolutely insane, man. Because, again, he's a fantastic player, 27-year-old. You know, centre-back, and he's been playing at Dortmund for a very long time. At a very high level as well. 119 appearances for them. And again, a Switzerland national. So, yeah, do check him out. I think he's going to be a fantastic addition to that back line. It's a surprising move. I think it's one of those ones where no one expected them to actually make a move for Akanji. I think it was a very quiet but very swift move from Man City, and you know, it just further strengthens up the back line, which they completely needed. I think it was one of those ones where, yes, they've had like Stones there for a while, they've got Diaz, They got other centre backs as well, but they just need to bring that depth back into the side now. So no, I think Man City's going to just roll away, steamroll, let's say, the league, and then it's going to be Liverpool second, Arsenal's going to be very close, and then Tottenham, as mentioned, is going to get fourth. And that's my prediction I've mentioned way before the season started. It was truly based upon like the training sessions, the pre-season, the transfers that these guys were making, and you know, these guys have made some very unique signings, you know, throughout this summer market. You're looking at, let's say, Arsenal, that's playing fantastic up there. They are at the top of the league, well deservedly. You know, last season they had a very good run from like the relegation zone, going into like the top four, and then doing a Spursy and ending up fifth. And I don't know how that works out, but again, it was always going to be a case. And even if you do watch the Amazon Prime All or Nothing series, you get an insight, and I do like enjoy it just to understand how it is in terms of like, you know, the football world, you know, when it comes to training and, you know, the mythology, because I love my Football Manager. I love all of these side of things, so that's something I've always been impressed by. And I used to work at Chelsea Football Club too, so but not in like the training side of things. It was something else. It was a commercial role, which was quite nice. But yeah, moved away from that. But no, I think it's going to be one of those ones now where, you know, Arsenal's purchased a lot of youthful players. They've got one of the most youthful teams, first team players that are playing in the league at the moment. And it just shows with the play style and their, you know, motivation and the drive to succeed. You know, they haven't done well in a very long time. But, you know, there was a meme I saw as well where you can't really roast Arsenal now, man. Like, we feel that they might be back now to maybe Champions League quality and potentially in the future maybe fighting for the Premier League. But I think they said it's from like 2006 to 2022. RIP, we can't really diss, you know, Arsenal anymore. Like, Man United can't diss no one, man. They're rubbish. I don't care. You can't go around like winning 1-0 or 2-1, you know, by just a 1-goal deficit. Like, you guys are awful, man. Like, in your play style, you guys have been lucky. Like, it's only going to be time when you get like a couple of injuries, and that's it. You're going to get relegated, man. That's it. I just want Man United to just go away, man. Nah, it was a good performance from them yesterday, but in general, I think they have been defensively very strong, United, and it's good to see. Even Sancho's goal, very good through ball, and then for him to get that goal. So it's impressive to see, you know, what Ten Hag is doing, and he's sticking, you know, what is it, Maguire as well as Ronaldo on the bench. So I'm grateful that he's doing that. And then talking about Ronaldo, you know, man, you know, is crying a lot throughout this entire summer market, and it's just unfortunate now that he couldn't get the move across. So it's going to be really interesting to see now how he molds in, or if he does mold into, let's say, the United team. If it's going to be a case where he's going to be majority of the times on the bench, or if Ten Hag will be like, look, you can see the change that we guys are doing at Manchester United. You know, give us a chance. And I think it's going to be, hopefully, a chance that he can give United, even if it's for this season, and then bounce next season, or whatever the case is. It's a whole new manager. Like, Ollie wasn't great, man. Like, even Ten Hag, yes, of course, he's had a really good feat in terms of accomplishments at, was it Ajax in the Dutch side of things. Even in the European side of things, they were progressing very well in the Champions League. You know, he's got a good mythology. And I think this is something that Ronaldo hopefully will see, and I think he'll stay on just for the season. And then let's see what happens next season. I think he'll then move across, I don't know, to Sporting or something. But yeah, so Aubameyang as well, very good news for Chelsea, I think, in terms of like trying to strengthen that number 9 position. But it's a question for the Chelsea fans for sure, if it's going to be a case where, you know, they've had such a horrible time at that number 9 position for quite a while. You know, the strikers haven't been playing well since the likes of Drogba as well as Diego Costa. And I've mentioned it previously as well, every single player since then, like, you've got Higuain, you've got Torres, you've got Falcao that came on loan, you had Werner, you had Lukaku, and you had other players as well that were playing in the striker position, but they never, let's say, fulfill their potential. And now when you see like Werner scoring hat-tricks, you know, playing very well, and then of course you've got like Lukaku who's also doing very well, integrating back into that Inter Milan team, and, you know, doing, you know, fantastic in partnership with Martinez. So it's only going to be the case now with Aubameyang, 33 years old, you know. Can he, you know, uplift that momentum for Chelsea's front line and, you know, perform for them? Because, you know, we did see it against, you know, when he was playing at Arsenal. He had like 2 seasons back to back where he scored 22 goals in the league. But then after that, his form dipped considerably. I don't know if it was a case where it was Barca rumours or other, you know, club rumours, but his attitude within the dressing room was horrible, with Lacazette as well. and you did see, you know, him get the captaincy, but it wasn't a well-deserved captaincy. I don't know why you would always give, never ever give captaincy to your, let's say, striker, man. Never ever give that ownership to the striker, because their main focus should be goal scoring. They shouldn't be motivating the team. The ideal position for a goalkeeper either should be a defender or a goalkeeper. Midfield, yeah, that would be good because they're in the middle and they could dictate and they got the vision, but I think the main key position should be ideally defense, being the centre back, ideally from those lines as a captain, or yeah, goalkeeper or midfield as a third option. Strikers like Kane, you just see in the international scene, he doesn't do well. And firstly, I don't know why he plays so deep. I've mentioned it so many times. Man is like a Firmino, he thinks he is, but he doesn't have that prowess in the international scene. Stick as a front-to-front striker and you'll get those goals. And that's something that didn't work out for Aubameyang. And he had this image as well for, you know, the latter ends of the Arsenal side of things, where he was more like a bad boy being shown. So I don't think, you know, I think he'll be an interesting move, to be truthfully honest with you, to Chelsea. And if he does score against Arsenal, I want to see if he does any sort of celebrations. I think it was, who's that guy? I can't remember now, from Man City, and he used to play for Arsenal. Agbon, no, I don't know. Adebayor or something like that, where he scored. I think it was him, and then he ran all the way to the Arsenal side, and they were throwing benches, they were throwing seats. Like, that was pure banter. Like, if you think about it, if Aubameyang does that in Emirates, like, he literally scores for Chelsea against Arsenal at Emirates, and he just does a runner, like, all around the pitch. He does like a, I don't know, a 400-meter lap all around the Emirates, and just like, I don't know, it will be just pure banter, man. I think that will be really interesting. But I think out of respect, he won't be celebrating. But it will be good if he does, man. I just want to see what the vibes are going to be like, man. But yeah, let's see how he molds in. And then, of course, you got Arthur that's come in to Liverpool. You know, plays as a centre mid, 26-year-old. You know, hasn't had that much game time with Juve over the past couple of seasons now. I think he's like, you know, out of favour with the manager. But again, 26 years old. Came from Grimoy, I think Grimoy, something like that, from the Brazil side of things. And he was purchased by Barca for, you know, quite a good value. And you know what Barca did? As always, you know, they have a stamp, a buyout clause on him, which was around 355 million, okay? They always do these obscene buyout clauses. And he was, you know, taking over the shirt or the vacated position of Iniesta. His style wasn't much like Iniesta, though. His style is very much like Xavi, and he was praised by a lot of players, even like Xavi, for example, you know, with his understanding and his, like, let's say, play style similar to him. So, you know, with Xavi very close to retiring or moving across to, I think it was Al Sadd, and it was a case where, you know, he would be filling that role, so they have like a Xavi type of, you know, player still going on, even regardless if Xavi's left. So, you know, he did start off well. I think it was a case where he had at one moment the most passes in La Liga at one time for Barcelona in one of the matches, which was really, really strong. But again, it wasn't a great little turnover for him, and he did progress and move to Juventus. But, you know, when you do look at his, let's say, his percentage of league games that he started over the past 4 seasons with Barca and Juve, you'll see that it slowly and gradually decreased every single season. In 2018, it was around like 50%, like his league games that he started, and then it reduced down to like 29% now in 2021, which is a massive reduction. And each time it was a downgrade. So, you know, he won't be a first team player for Liverpool. I think it's going to be a case where he'll be, you know, being subbed on, and then maybe, you know, being tested as a, you know, seeing how he filters with like Fabinho, for example, with that Brazilian lingo, and then you got Firmino as well up front. So we've got quite a lot of these Brazilians now, which, you know, will help out within like the keeping him, let's say, how do you say it, like now comfortable within the team side of things. So I think it's going to be interesting on how he's going to, let's say, mould in and how he plays within the Liverpool side. But no, and if there is a buyout clause, it'll be at 35 mil. And then, of course, you got Gilmour, who was always a prospect at Chelsea. You know, he spent the last season at Norwich. You know, it was an okay, let's say, season for him. You know, now he's going to Brighton, which is at a reasonable price of 10 million. You know, 21-year-old, he was always going to be a wonder kid or a prospect. You know, he had that potential in him, hence why he was being loaned out. He played around like 20 plus games for Norwich last season, so that's a lot for like a 20-year-old, which is fantastic now as he molds into a central midfield position at Brighton. And he's honestly going to be doing so much better now. Like, he's going to be unlocking his potential, and I'll tell you why. Because, you know, the manager, I've been hyping him up for so long now. Brighton's manager, Graham Potter, is the GOAT. One of the, let's say, the most best British coaches that you'll get in the most recent times for now. Like, he is fantastic, and I see him being the international coach as well. And what he's doing with his players, especially losing Cucurella as well as Basuma, is fantastic. So it's only going to be time now where we're going to see like the fulfillment and the potential unlocked full Gilmore. But yeah, and then Nottingham Forest with 21 signings, which is an absolute insane record of signings that they've made. It's just going to be interesting now how they're moulding in terms of the training, the chemistry, you know, the morale of the team, the depth of the team is going to be expanded. But hopefully they don't fail and end up in the relegation battle. But we'll only find out, isn't it, how that progresses. But I do appreciate your time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the summer transfer market. Do let me know your thoughts and opinions. And as always, please feel free to like and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on tomorrow's video. Take care and bye-bye. Nice, boys. That was a very good comeback, eh?